Another one, give all praise, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shem Kadash. Relates to news, top news, various articles. Double answer the elders, apostle men of truth, on down like-minded ones, teachers, truth and knowledge, and call Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shem Kadash. The wadi Yahweh Shem Yahshua. We put the spirit of men and truth on down. Elders, apostle men and truth on down, like-minded ones, teachers, truth and knowledge, so we know it's truth and knowledge. And call Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shem Kadash. Give all praise, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shem Kakadash. Various top news. Illinois assault weapons ban. U.S. Supreme Court refuses to block law. So they refuse to block law relating to the assault ban. That's a major, big issue. Kamala Harris to talk about, they should have some kind of block on, related to assault weapons. For obvious reason, for dangerous people. We know relating to people, they about their weapons, man. They're about their weapons. So they want their assault weapons. They don't want they feel like the government's trying to infringe on their rights to bear arms and different things. So, that's going to make, let me get that scripture real quick. Let me see. For the second Ezra 15. Because, when it comes to weapons, pistols, guns, weapons, assault weapons, people are very adamant about their right to have them, and people take it seriously when they feel the government's opposing their will to restrict them relating to under the Second Amendment freedom, the right to bear arms, man. So they're going to feel a certain way, and they feel like they're trying to infringe to take their rights anyway. And they probably are, man. But on the balance side of it, you don't want guns in certain people. You don't want guns in certain people's hands that those guns don't belong to either. So there's a balance to everything. 14. I'm going to get it from GNT. The world and the people in it are doomed. So that's woe to the people in the world and the inhabitants of the world. The war will bring their destruction. It's very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against each other. Fight against each other. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. So nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. The Egyptian versus the Egyptian, Isaiah 19:1. People are going to fight against one another, man. Using what? The sword, man. So the war will bring their destruction in very near. The ultimate war will be World War III, man. That's going to be the ultimate destruction overall, collectively. But this relates to people versus people, people versus people, like the Egyptian versus the Egyptian, using the sword, man. And they're gonna, what's the modern day sword? It's the gun, man, or the assault weapon, man, or any form of defense or offensive tool, man. 16. There will be a great political turmoil. You see in turmoil, Democrats, Republicans, the division between these political status quos, fighting against each other. You talk about inquiry relating to Biden's inquiry relating to impeachment. So it's major division. A kingdom of die, how can he stand? But fall, man. Matthew 12, 25 and 26. Mark 3:24 through 26 and 27 verse, and Luke 11, 17, 18 verse, I believe. So a kingdom divided, how can it stand? But how can it stand? So how is it going to stand if it's divided, man? How is it going to stay strong and rooted, man, if it's divided, man? And eventually it will fall, man. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing the division. You're seeing the fracture, and you're seeing the ultimately the pre-collapse to this system, man. There will be a political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another. You're seeing that one group trying to be better, overpower the other group, trying to outdo the other one. Nations are doing that. Kingdoms are doing that. Let me read that again. There will be political turmoil. One group trying to overpower another and gain control. And that's what it is. It's all about power grab. See which one is stronger so they can get complete control, man. While ignoring the legitimate government. The legitimate government legitimate goes to look at that word legitimate. Legitimate government is pretty much the real government, the genuine government. Here we go. Legitimate would be making legitimate, justify, make lawful. Let me see. Legal, lawful, licit, legalize, authorize. So ones who are legitimate goes to the ones who are authorized, permissible, allowed, approved, man. Go that again. Okay, let's go at it again. 14. I'm going to read 16 again. There will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government, the approved, the sanctioned, and the obvious ones in power, man. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's go to continue on. There will no longer be free access to the cities. That's martial law. Because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, total confusion wherever people live. So wherever people are at, these things are going to happen, man. You know what I mean? This relates to the state and condition of what's going to happen in society, man. Driven by famine, terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors. So people are going to fight against one another. Remember the Egyptian versus the Egyptian. You're going to have a variance or a division, a spirit of variance and division set upon the people, man. Go to 10:34 through 36 of Matthew. Go to 2nd Ezra 16 to was that 68 to 72, around that area, 72 to 74. Thou should be like madman, sparing none against ones who fear the Lord, for example. So there's going to be a certain spirit on these people. That goes to the persecution, man. There's a video talking about relating to monitor what you watch. Monitor what you watch. The stuff you watch on your social media and different things, you could be held accountable to be arrested. One of the men in truth, I was looking a little bit of the video, I gotta look at the rest of it. You know what I mean? So that goes relating to pretty much what's on the YouTubes, man, what's on these social medias, man. They're monitoring your what you're watching. I believe you could be arrested, you know what I mean? So that's gonna come, man. Because if you watching certain things, or they could deem you a certain, they could deem you a certain category, relating to that. Because the struggle for power will bring the terror and total confusion wherever people live. Driven by famine, terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. So they're going to invade because victuals are going to be low, supplies are going to be low, and it's going to be a scarcity relating to food and different things, man. You're not going to be able to get. It's not going to be readily accessible like it is now, man. It's going to be where survival of the fittest, man. You know what I mean? Every man for himself, every woman for himself. You know what I mean? That's how it's going to be in that day. All right, so I'll go back to where I was at. Like I said, with the legitimate government, pretty much the authorized, sanctioned, approved. So ignoring the legitimate government, which is the approved, the sanctioned, and the authorized, man. Because there's a power struggle, man. There's people trying to gain access and conquer others to gain that access, man. That's what the nation versus nation, kingdom against kingdom. You know what I mean? One wants to dominate over the other, man. You seeing that? Look at relating to Russia, China, these other nations. They want to be the next superpower, man. They want to be the next big guy on the scene, man. You know what I mean? So these nations are going to they're going to try to outdo one another so they can fill that slot of being the top supreme ruler, man. You know. Let's continue with the news. Why did White House ask the IDF, which is the Israel Defense Forces, strikes after the Biden calls out Israel's indiscriminate bombing in Gaza? So in the United States' case, you know, now it's becoming a little bit too excessive, man. Superfluity, excessive now. It's too much now. But really, U.S. supports that. You know what I mean? Because Israel's their major, you know, U.S. is the major supporter of Israel, man. So they support it, man. They might want them to tone it down a little bit, but they really support it, man. You know? Schumer delays Senate holiday recess to work on immigration deal. So they were trying to work on an immigration deal relating to the border security. It's right here. Bulgaria says to no EU accession talk for Israel. And that relates to Ukraine becoming a EU member, man. It still talks about that, you know what I mean? So right now, no, you know what I mean? Later on, Ukraine, maybe. Court rejects Trump's appeal of a gag order in New York civil fraud trial, so related to the Trump trials. Putin on the Russian-Ukraine war, runaway bill in New Jersey, war. Okay. So this woman here is talking about a dystopia in the state, which means pretty much tyranny, anarchy. So this Texas woman describes the terror of fleeing from her state to save her life. You know, you're not going to be able to run from what's to come, man. You know what I mean? Dystopia, man. George Orwell, you know what I mean? That's going to come, man. You know, police disrupt Hamas terror plans in Europe. So related to impeachment inquiry authorized Trump's fury in Iowa. Dow rockets to record high. Okay, all right. We got here. U.S. steps up the pressure on Israel for war. War Day 68, Gaza. Over 2 months and 8 days. Assessments finds Israel's military using unguided bombs in Gaza. $1.68 defense bill spending addressing the Red Hill crisis passed. U.S. House heads to Biden. Let's talk about, I believe, appropriation bill, military appropriation bill. Hearing that military will get increased, the biggest in 2 decades, I believe. Why Rudy Giuliani choose not to testify in his defamation trial. This is just various news. Fox and friends on Hunter Biden. Only Joe's son can get away with this. Scripture talks about they're not in trouble as other men, man. This may not go Trump's way. Former prosecutor on Trump immunity appeal. So that's a little news stuff. Second Ezra, what did I say, 15? I'll get Second Ezra 6 real quick. Get it from the GNT, I guess. Excuse me. The days are coming when I will begin to come near to visit the earth. Those who live on the earth. That relates to the Lord sending judgment upon the earth, man. The Lord has begun to visit the earth which he has made. When I make to examine, which is inquiry, those who unjustly afflict harm in their cruelty. That's the wicked. For Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, people mourn. So they mourn it because of the cruelty of the ones in the position of power, man. 20. When the seal is placed upon the ages and begin to pass away, the book, firmaments, the scrolls, the books, signs, I will perform these signs. The scrolls will be open, which are the books, in view of the firmament, and all will see together. Infants, a year old, will speak with their voices, and pregnant women will give birth to premature babies of 3 and 4 months. That relates to prematurity. 22. The fields that were not sown will suddenly appear sown. It goes well. Suddenly the storehouses will. Suddenly the sown will appear unsown, and the storehouses will be empty, matter of speaking. The fields that were not sown will suddenly appear sown. The full storehouses will suddenly be found empty. There goes the victual supplies and different things, man. It will be scarce, man. It will be a scarcity. It will be a famine. There will be a lack of supplies. A trumpet will sound with a blast. When all hear it, they will suddenly be terrified. That's just distinguished sound. Terrible sound, man. In that time, friends will make war on friends. The Egyptian versus the Egyptians, for example, that spirit of division. Think not to come to send peace, but a sword. Think not to come to send peace, but rather division. So that spirit of division relating to the variance, relating to division, strife, contention, man. That's going to be set forth, man. In that time, friends will make war on friends like enemies. So they're going to turn on each other, man. The earth, along with those that live in it, will be terrified, and the sources of rivers will stand still so that they do not run for 3 hours. That's the faucets, the waters, the physical waters, actual waters. The society's like those waters too, like the faucet running, man. Society's going to be cut off slowly, man, till that faucet's cut off, man. The society's no longer flowing and moving no more. The spirit of mirth is going to be taken, the spirit of happiness, spirit of joy. So that goes with the flow of the faucets of society. The faucets of society are like those flowing waters, man. It's going to be cut off, man. And then everyone who is left after all these things that I have foretold to you will be saved. And that goes with those who endure to the end, the same shall be saved, man. The operative word is ones who endure. Endure goes to enduring, tolerating, suffering, patiently. It goes all to endurance. The ones who endure to the end, the same shall be saved, man. They will see my deliverance at the end of my age. The end of this age, man. The rulership. Esau's the end of the world. And Jacob's the beginning that followeth, man. Let me say. They will see the people who have been taken up and who have not tasted death from the birth. The hearts of those who live on earth will be changed and converted into a different spirit. That goes to 1 Corinthians 15:54. They'll be changed in the twinkling of an eye. For evil will be erased, and grief and extinguished. And faith will flourish, and corruption will be overcome. So all the things that once was in this society is going to be what it is. It's going to be a distant memory. All these things, the evils, the corruption, the tyranny, the unjustness, you know what I mean, all the things that pretty much made this society what it is going to be a distant memory, man. That's what it's going to be. Faith will flourish and corruption will be overcome. The truth that was without fruit but so long will be displayed. So truth, faith, righteousness will be finally present on earth again, man. So that was 2 Ezra 6. This is just a few scriptures right through those reports. So one day all this will go to an end. Eventually. That's the operative word, eventually. Only the powers that be know when that time is, man. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither your ways my ways. As the heavens are higher, so is my thoughts and my ways higher than your thoughts and your ways, man. Paraphrasing. It's Psalms 50, what was that? 50th chapter, 58th, I believe. So the Lord's ways is different, man. So it's on the point. It's at the appointed time of the Lord, man. He's going to do it in His time. Let's see what it is. Yes, 55 and 9, Shalaka. 55 and 9. So this is just something short relating to that. Hope this helps in some way. Remember, listeners, I want to give all praise, Yahweh Shem Yahshua B'Shem Rakaka Zayah Wolf Shalom.